Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Highspots virtual gimmick table. I, of course, am the Man Scout, Jake Manning. And, of course, you know the man standing next to me, the WWE Hall of Famer himself, Ron Simmons. Ron, how are you doing today?
Man, I couldn't be. It's just fantastic to be here. Okay, first of all, I got to thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. You know, this is a Thursday night. Normally, this is about the time you start looking at your flight information. You've already checked in for your flight. You're getting ready to go out to a show, probably for a weekend, do an autograph appearance, whatever it needs to be. But we live in a different world now.
Totally.
Absolutely. Completely changed. And you haven't been able to meet most of your fans. Tell me what it's like to not be able to interact with your fans, shake hands with them, press flash with them, sign autographs. What's it like?
Well, you know what? For me, it's been very frustrating for me, right? Because I'm at a point now, at this point in my career, you know, having retired now, you know, it's the opportunity for me to come back and converse and talk to all the people that have questions for me. So it's been very frustrating for me. But this is one way of doing it. So thank you for allowing me to do this.
Oh, thank you for being here. And I must say, and I must stooge everybody off in this office. Because right now, I got to let you guys know, when we first started doing this is a new thing. This is a new world. This is a new experience, the virtual gimmick table. And when we first started doing this, we were trying to think of people to bring in. And the first name right off the bat was like, we need Ron Simmons here. That was my first suggestion. Everybody's like, oh, I don't know. But I was the only one screaming for Ron Simmons. And I kept saying it over and over and over.
You mean everybody was screaming?
No, I was the only one screaming for you, Ron.
Oh, you just wait till I get off.
Remember that at the end of the night. I have
Yeah.
your back, you have my back. That's how it works.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. But no, like I've been saying it for a while, and people are like, well, I don't know if Ron had anything to auction off for the auction. But turns out you have brought the most pieces of anybody that we've had of the virtual gimmick.
Really?
Really. And you brought some of the most amazing pieces,
and listen, I was being stingy because, like, look, you know what? I've been very reluctant to bring out anything over the years, you know, and try to sell them because they're very sentimental to me, right?
Absolutely.
But then I got to thinking about it. Okay, my wife's is not as crazy about it. My kids are not as crazy about it. So I was like, well, you know what? What if something were to go down? What will happen? So I'd rather see these things go into the hands of someone who really loves the business and who will really take care of them and treasure them.
Absolutely. And you brought some wonderful treasures. You actually,
Yeah.
just behind us right here, we have like this APA shirt that's hanging up here that worn on WWE TV. We'll be talking
Actually
about
kicked a lot of butt in that.
I bet you did.
Yeah.
You might have kicked some butt later on
Yeah.
tonight. I may need some help. For all the people that said don't bring in Ron Simmons, I was the one that said
I'll put it on.
But okay.
Yeah.
And I might even put this one on. This right here, this first ever
yeah.
Nation of Domination T-shirt. I dig this one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be auctioning this later on tonight as well. Also, we have a WCW poster that we brought here. I got this out right here. This will be auctioned off later on this evening, much later on. Of course, like you.
A lot of guys on it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course, you up in the corner there, Sting, Rick Rude, all those guys. And, of course, a couple other items I think are pretty cool. Let me go ahead and put this back up for safekeeping for time being. So somebody gets this later on. Another item that I think one of the super cool items is you got the College Football Hall of Fame program. Also a wonderful picture inside, which we'll share a little bit later on. They got to hang around to the end of the program to see all that.
I got to tell you, man, I was really, you know, reluctant to bring these things out, you know. But once again, I got to say, you know, for a lot of people, they've been asking me about my personal things. So, you know, I decided I'd bring some of them out and share them with some of the people.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you also shared these WCW Insider News, which we've never seen these before.
Right,
we looked them up.
I've had them for the last 32 years or something.
They've been sitting in your closet. You might have the only ones left in existence sitting in your closet. So.
And as I'm thinking about it, I might not let it go.
We'll see.
Right.
And we'll let you have it. We'll let you have it at the end of the night. But we'll see what price we get to. But I think the coolest thing that you brought in, of all the things that you brought in, and you brought an original, and since we have a copy machine here in the office, we made multiple copies of this. This is the concept art for Farouk Nation of Domination.
Right. That's before Farouk even started, gotten into the ring with the Nation. You know, we were developing his character here and his outfit. And of course, there's a lot of stories that go behind it. But one quick one is that they wanted to put Farouk in shorts, and that wasn't going to happen.
No,
now, I don't think you can be too militant. Coming out trying to look too
sexy.
It
was bad enough they put you in a gladiator outfit when you came in. It was bad enough they put you in.
Yeah, so it's time to change that up.
And that was probably why you were so mad when you kicked Ahmed Johnson.
Exactly. Well, that had a lot to do with it.
I bet so. I bet.
Right? Yeah, but this right here, man, is the formative stages of Farouk before he got into the ring, and then before Mark, Rocky, and all the guys came into the into the faction. Then, but these are the formative stages of the original Farouk costume.
Yeah, and of course we make copies of these at the Highspots
Yeah.
house. We'll be selling those throughout the night. We'll even have you autograph the top sheet right here, and we'll be selling that, make it available for everybody.
Once again, these are first editions.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Only.
Yeah, we're making taken from the original copies given you. We made copies of this.
My copy.
Yeah, from your personal collection. We're making copies, and we're
Absolutely.
selling that throughout the show. But we'll also be selling some of the promos and stuff like that. And let's go ahead and pop up that graphic right now and let you get back to Sonic. So you go ahead and hang out.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Right.
So Ron's going to go off right now, and he's going to sign all these promos that are up on your screen right now in a wonderful graphic. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Ryan Ritchie. You're the winner of this championship belt, or at least the auction for this championship belt. So, congratulations. So, now, the moment we've all been waiting for, and definitely the moment that your next individual has been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the virtual gimmick table, Ron Simmons, WWE Hall of Famer.
I'm back, man.
I'm back. I'm glad for you to be back.
I'm back.
And you got everything signed. You've been fierce in signing back there.
Hands are cramping up now. I've been going at it so much. Yeah.
It's like those days when you used to bench press 500 pounds. Those hands kind of cramp up. I know how it is.
Well, used to. I'm still doing it, man. Wishful thinking.
Yeah, wishful thinking. But I thank you so much. And like I said, Ron, you, of all the people that have come out to the virtual gimmick table, you brought, I think, some of the coolest items.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, I am very...
I didn't think I was bringing as much, but
no, this is awesome. And we're going to start with probably, I think, the coolest. The bids are going to start at $5, but while those bids are coming, tell us what this particular item is.
Man, listen, and even as you're holding it up, you probably can tell my voice cracking because this is something among, winning the world championship, of course, right? Of a very high accomplishment for me. Okay, all of my Pop Warner football all throughout high school is something that all guys dream of when they're playing football, right? But none ever think that they're going to make it to the College Football Hall of Fame, all right? And I'm among probably less than 2,000 people to be in the College Football Hall of Fame, right? And so this is one of the original copies here of the brochure of me being enshrined into the 2008-2009 at be with this College Football Hall of Fame, along with a lot of noticeable characters like Troy Aikman, Lou Holtz, Thurman Thomas.
And actually, in this particular piece, there is a picture. Let's go ahead and get a close-up so people can see this was the class that you were inducted with right here. I'm going to get the close-up camera to zoom in a little bit closer so people can take a look. But just go ahead and talk about some of the people that are featured in this picture, Ron.
Oh, man, this is a wonderful class.
Yeah, it's got
like
Lou
I said,
Holtz,
Thurman
Thomas,
right?
Troy Aikman, Troy right here.
Yes, and I mean you can, and it even has the names listed here, and you could go on, and it tracks down, from the university, and to go on to see how extensive their professional career was in NFL. So it's just for me, it was something that to this day I have to pinch myself, to know that it was me that was in that class with these guys. Because that's something that I'm just now getting around to really want to share with the people, because I never like to brag about myself as much, right? But I thought it was to be a great time now to share some of the things with the people. I've been asked a lot about, my football career, and I thought it was about time that I brought some of the things out and show the people just exactly what they have been asking for me to see.
Well, I appreciate you showing this, and I'm just going to kind of flip through this right here just to kind of show, it's the program that's got a lot of the pictures.
Daniel Brewer's up to $70.
Daniel Brewer's got up to $70, and maybe this will move it even more. Also, inside of here will come with this Ron Simmons, bigger kind of trading card, postcard edition right there.
Yes,
Ron
and
Simmons.
that's one of the two originals, right? This one is that I had right here. So whoever gets that is going to be among just a very lucky person to get it, besides myself.
One of two, as we said. Right here, as more bids are coming in, I'd like to talk a little bit more about your college football career. Jim Ross always got criticized for bringing in guys that had a football background, and but he always justifies listen, these guys know how to work as a team. They work together, set goals, push forward, know how to accomplish things. And some of the attributes from a collegiate athlete or professional athlete, some of those skills can transfer over to professional wrestling.
Absolutely.
Did you notice some of those things yourself?
Well, it worked for me.
Yeah.
Okay, because, and he's absolutely right about that, right? As far as knowing, well, and particularly during that time, we took a lot of pride in professional wrestling as far as being a heel and babyface, Why it's something that you don't see too much of these days, but that's another story. And you learn how to tag with each other, how to work with each other, and that I brought that from my collegiate career in football, right? As far as the work attitude, knowing what it's going to take, knowing how to stay with something for the duration, and so that bringing that into it has helped me achieve the same things that I did in football, now being in the Hall of Fame in professional wrestling. So yes, it did work out for me.
Absolutely. Well, let's see how it's working out with the bids right now.
$100, Brian Canabrowski.
Okay, we're at $100 with Brian Canabrowski right now. But as some more bids come in, talk about what it was like being coached by Bobby Bowden.
Oh, unreal, man. I can't say enough about the man. Okay, of course, a lot of people that knows the history of Florida State football knows that. Hey, early on it was in the co-ed school. It was all women's school. And then as it evolved, and Mudra was the head coach there before Bobby Bowden, and things didn't start to turn around until he got there. All right, and one of the things that is one of the biggest attributes that I found about him personally that he had was being a father figure for guys like myself, that didn't have a father coming into college, and was lacking that person to go through, go to when I had times that, a father would be there. So he filled that void, as well as being motivational for you when he could detect that you needed to be pushed. So I'm very grateful for the man. I can't say enough about it.
What was probably the most valuable lesson he taught you during your
Never to give up. Set a goal, give it your best. Give it everything you got. And if you fall short of it, don't be able to look in the mirror and know that you've given it everything that you had. That's the biggest thing.
Absolutely. I'm sure people are giving everything they have in the bids right now. Where are we?
Brewer, 110.
Daniel Brewer's got the 110 right now. Is Brian in and out?
I got a question. Tell me a little more about that card. Was that card like part of the program? Or
Yeah.
How come?
This particular card right
Yes.
here is part of the program.
Yes.
It was in there.
Yes.
So go ahead and hold it. Take a
Yeah,
look.
and
Talk about it.
right. Well, this card right here, what it does, right? It lists some of some of the highlights of my college football career, right, and some of the things here that where my background, where I would have came from in high school, and this type of thing. But this was one of a set,
Okay.
right here, right, and this is one of my personal cards right here. As you can see right here, I didn't want to make a copy of it. This one right here, as you can see, I took it directly off of the wall of my home. Okay, right. You can see it right there. So this isn't a fake. This is the real deal.
This has been hanging up
Yes.
in Ron Simmons'
Yes.
house. That little
Okay.
nail hole right,
Right.
there.
That's
Little
right.
tack hole, probably
Yeah.
on cork
That's
board,
right.
and of course on the back right there.
Yeah.
Ron Simmons, all the comments as you laid out. Let's talk a little bit more about this program too. I'm gonna kind of flip through here. Right as I turn to talk about Lou Holtz, Troy Aikman. When you were playing at Florida State, what was your biggest rival, or like was there ever a guy that you were like when you talk about your college football
Right.
career, like I played against this
Right.
guy, I played against this person's team. Who do you bring up?
Well, me being a Seminole, it was always the in-state rivals, Miami and the University of Florida.
Yeah.
But luckily for me and my teammates, I only lost to Miami once, and I never lost to Florida Gators ever. So I have no idea what that feels like. Okay, everybody comes up to me. So I'll answer this for all of you out there now, right? When you're speaking of, Ron, when are we going to ever beat the Gators? That must be terrible. I don't know. I never lost to them. Okay,
You're the worst
Right.
grief counselor ever in college football, sir.
Yeah.
The worst grief
Right.
counselor. I was like, I don't know what that feels like.
But they were the in-state rivals, right? But we, played teams like Oklahoma, Nebraska. So everyone that I faced, coming up to, always looked at them like it was the first game. So that's one of the things we learned again from Coach Bowden. Play it all the way through, like it's the first game.
You big college still keep up with your alma mater?
Oh, all the time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going through a lot of transition right now.
Yes, you are.
Well, big transition, but this is good.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a really, really good feeling about this one. So I think we're on the right track now, and I'm really looking forward to things getting back on track.
That's
you know,
good.
yeah.
Well, let's get back on track with this auction. Where are we sitting at
Brian
right?
is up to 150.
We're up to 150
Daniel
now.
said damn, I'm out.
Okay, we're out right now, so we're sitting. Damn, we're at 150 right now for this College Football Hall of Fame program from 2009. Of course, it includes the card. It will include this wonderful picture from everybody inducted in that class. All that comes with it. Now, let's. I have to mention it. We're on the topic of football.
Right.
Obviously, you went on to play for Cleveland. Please talk about how that was.
Listen, as brief as my stint was with the Browns, man, I still love them. Okay, like I said, one of the teachings from Coach Bowden: when you get with something, stick with it. All right, and
Especially if you're in the Browns, stick with it as much as possible.
Listen, and I'm still sticking with them. Okay,
Yeah.
Right. Look. I don't want to, put my foot in my mouth and say, hey, this is going to be the year. But
no, wait, Browns
this
do it all the time.
How about
Browns do
this?
it.
All right, this is going to be a better year.
Okay.
Okay, how about that?
All
Right?
right.
So
Yeah.
Nick Silva went up to 155. Kurt Jesuits jumped up to 175, and we're waiting to hear from Brian.
Okay, we're just waiting to hear from you, Brian, to kind of class it out so we can get the 60-second mark. Right now, we're at 170 right now with Kurt. Right now, is a good guy, ring announcer from Northeast Wrestling. But also too with football, did you what made you go working out with the Cleveland Browns? It's not really working out here. What was the deciding factor in that?
Well, coming out of college, right, having been, pretty good at my position, right, I started getting double and triple teams a lot,
Yeah.
right? So then I had both ankles, and I had ankle problems, and broke my wrist, prior to, wasn't totally healed up when I got to the Cleveland Browns. So I wasn't at my full strength, and, and got hurt there, and that didn't work out. But I still, took some time off from football, managed to go to Canadian football after I got myself together and played 3 years there without all Rough Riders, Then after that brief stint there, that's when the USFL came into it. They formed a new league there and went on to play 3 years there, right. And when that became defunct then, right, Lex Luger had already made the transition from football to professional wrestling.
Okay.
So I asked him would he do me a favor, and he, being the guy that he is, he did. Got me a sit down with Hiro Matsuda, and things took off from there.
Right, current high bid is Kurt Jesuits at 225.
Oh, we're up to 225 already. Just talking.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you tell stories about your career, and money
You know.
just keeps piling up.
Well, listen, man, I'm having the time of my life at this point now. I didn't have the opportunity to do this and talk with people like yourself and out there, right, that they've asked me questions when I was on the road, and I couldn't talk because I was constantly moving. Sometimes we did two shows a day back then.
Yeah.
So now this is the opportunity for me to answer a lot of questions and to let them see more of who I am. And not just the Farouk character. Right? Yeah, right. So and to share some of my personal things like this. So this is a good experience for me.
And this is a great experience too. And we brought the USFL, which I've always been fascinated. Tell me what that was like. Like was it close? It seemed like it was close to being a rival to the NFL.
Man, when I speak of it, man, it still hurts me now. Because it was going so well. I mean, everything. We had the fan base going, man. We had the perfect timing for it, in the season, and everything was clicking. And then the thing that humans, we all do, kicked in, greed.
Yes.
Okay?
Always.
Yes.
Always.
Just after 3 seasons, the greed factor kicked in. And they wanted to go head up with the NFL, and even myself and all of the guys on the team and other teams knew that it wasn't the time for that, and everything just unraveled. But it was a wonderful experience, and it was just fantastic for guys like myself and others, that didn't get the shot, not because of their abilities, in the NFL, but things just fell short to have another place to go. And if that had not happened the way it did, I know it would still be going today.
Yeah, and I'm sure taking those hits in the spring were a lot easier than taking it in the
Oh,
winter.
for
in Cleveland.
sure.
I'm sure that was probably a
being in
different.
Cleveland, right?
Being
Oh,
Cleveland
for sure.
in December
right.
taking a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather take a hit in
Oh,
April.
Any day. Okay. In Tampa. Right.
So something we never hear. Brian said that he's out.
Okay.
So you're on the 60-second clock to Kurt Jesuits at 225.
Okay, we're on the clock with Kurt right now. But speaking of spring football, Were you ever a fan of the XFL in any incarnation whatsoever?
Well, I'm always a fan of football.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm always a fan of opportunities. Like I haven't been a former football player myself, you know, and it was just another avenue for the guys, you know, to go and show what they could do, and to get a chance to make money, you know, doing what they love to do, you know. So as it was unfolding and as it come up and go away, I was with it all the way, you know, just hoping that it would continue to thrive, you know, but it just didn't happen.
It did not happen. Let's see what's happening right now with the bids. We're good to go on the count. Kurt Jesuits is sitting at what amount?
225.
225 for this college
Good
football.
deal for Kurt.
Great deal for sure for Kurt. We brought it over now. We have 30 seconds. This could be yours, Kurt. You want to go to the basketball count? Are we close to that? We're giving more of a second. Okay, we're going to give the basketball count, even though I got a football player next to me. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Kurt. You just walked away. It's College Football Hall of Fame program right here. Now, our next item. We mentioned this at the top of the show. This is WCW Inside News. These were in your closet.
In my archive,
the bids are going to start at 5, but let's talk about this. No, these are just like several dishes. We're packaging them all together. We're not going to sell them one at a time. We're packaging all together. WCW Inside News, and also we have WCW Fan Club official publication, Volume 1, Number 1. And of course, you right on the cover right there.
Yeah, well, these have been in, you know, once again, you know, some of the archival things that I've put away, you know, my personal things that I've had. Probably more over 32 years or so, you know, just some of the highlights when they were honoring me in Atlanta after winning the championship, you know, and just the city of Atlanta and doing something back in the community after all this took place, you know. And this was some of the fan magazines. I think these are originals.
Yeah, the original. And also,
Yes.
I'm going to close up. This says, like I
Yeah.
said, the fan club right there, and of course it says 1 of 1, but also the other ones, very interesting enough, say right on here for a WCW associate use only. It's very interesting right there. We haven't figured out exactly if this was like a publication that's passed out at one CNN Center, or if this was a preview edition of this before it turned into the
I
fan
don't think
club.
you'll see very many of them.
Because that's what we have right here, and we're including this as well. It says WCW Associate Only, published for that time. There's something that was circulated throughout the company, and then turned into a fan club thing. There's obviously a little bit of difference, but all this is included together right here. Of course, a lot of these are ones where they're talking about you being honored in Tallahassee, Florida. Of course, you right there on the cover, and of course, talking about Teddy Long hooking up with Danny Glover. Apparently, like, what's the lowdown on that?
Well, look, that would be Teddy.
That would be Teddy.
He knew everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, right. But once again, though, these are originals, man. You know, and I don't think if you do, you're not going to see very many of those out there in circulation because once again, those are from my personal archives.
And they were obviously for WCW Associates only, and there's not many of those left anymore, if any. So these. We tried to look these up online. We couldn't find any of them anywhere, but you have them. And like I said, you know, I don't know if this was like a proof or a publication of it. We got the Insider News, and then of course the fan club, or this was some sort of thing that you were a part of.
Yeah, so you'll be getting something that I don't think anyone else has.
Yeah, definitely. We tried to look this up earlier, and we couldn't find it anywhere.
But bids are up to $100.
The bids are up to $100.
Stephen Matthews.
Stephen Matthews right now. Talk about
150. Brian Gambrell.
You'll be the only one.
Oh, 150. The bids are coming in fast and furious right now. So we got the fan.
What I'm thinking about right now, as it goes on, you know, I don't know, man. You know, those are a little bit personal to me right there. So,
tell me why they're personal.
Well, because it was such a great honor for me after all that hard work, you know, that goes into, you know, behind the scenes again. People don't know. They see a finished product with professional wrestling on TV. Right, but all the hard work that went into me winning that belt, that, you know, and when I became champion, and then just get honored the way that by the city of Atlanta and by the fans, and that was one way of them doing that, and that was among the first time that, you know, some of the publications came out after I won the championship. So that's why it's very personal.
Well, let's make it even a bit more personal for you. I don't know if you saw this online, but I know this was something that was circulating the last year. There was a clip of you winning the title and beating Vader, and there was and people zeroed in on a particular young fan that ran down from whatever seat he was sitting down, a young African American kid running down
Black.
from the black. Excuse
Yeah.
me. A black child running down and running to the guardrail, and as you're winning, losing his absolute mind that this is happening, and just exploding in the joy that was created in his life.
Yes. You know, I've had the opportunity to talk and sit down with him a couple of times.
Really? You've actually met him?
Yes. Throughout the years, man.
Okay.
You know, and each time that I did, it feels like I'm reliving it again, because I had no idea the impact that moment was going to have. You know, I know what it did to me, but what it had on others, you know, and not just young black kids, but I mean, I'm speaking of white kids, people of all nationalities, you know, when they come up to me, you know, after that happened, you know, what it meant to them, what they were going through in their life, and then, you know, and at that moment it changed for them, you know, as it did for me. So it's a wonderful thing when you hear that the impact you had on somebody's life and how it changed them, you know.
It's just amazing to see someone like that, who's like someone like me, did something that incredible, and that's the important thing. That's why representation always matters. In that something like that is possible for me. And just the idea of seeing that play out in professional wrestling makes me emotional, and how much I love professional wrestling.
Well, you know, and therefore over the years, I've always been a little bit cognizant of how I carried myself, because, you know, hey, when you're in the spotlight like that, you never know what people are going through, you know? Right. And then I really found out when that happened for me, you know, and then to have, you know, kids which are grown now with kids of their own that come up to me now and say, man, you have no idea how much that meant to me. You know, hey, that's the best feeling you can get, man. You know, nothing means more to me than that.
Current bids are up to 200, but we asked if anyone knows anything about these, just to kind of educate ourselves, and no one has ever seen them.
Nobody's ever seen these before. Bids are at $200 right now. I mean, they've been sitting in Ron's closet.
Can you just show the inside?
We'll show the inside right here real fast. Of course, you got pictures even on the inside, more articles as well, and all different articles as well. Just a lot of great articles. Of course, you know, you get the lowdown on Teddy Long and his association with Danny Glover right here. What was Teddy like as a manager? I mean, he obviously managed you with Doom, but what was he like?
I was just speaking with Teddy, you know, just back there when I was signing some autographs there, right? And he was so impactful in the early stages of my career, because I don't know if people know that much about him and his background. He's probably one of two people that has been in this business that has done everything there is to do.
Oh, okay? Absolutely.
I mean, he's done it all. So he's a wealth of knowledge, man, and he helped me out a lot in the formative stages of my career when Butch and I were together. So, hey, I can't speak enough about it. Just great for me, and being lucky enough to have him in my corner, you know, as well as, you know, not only helping me professionally, but teaching me, and, you know, some of the facets, you know, and the ways about how the business works.
Yeah, and I told that when he was out here that I was. George South always talked about how like oh, Teddy did all this work. He'd run and go get people sandwiches. He'd set up the ring. He would be there. He'd referee.
He literally did it all.
He'd manage. He would do whatever you needed him to do. He just wanted to be a part of wrestling.
He did all of it. Yeah. You know, right. Nothing but big respect for him.
Yeah.
Nothing but a lot of admiration.
So before I tell you the bids, someone finally knew something about it.
Okay, so finally somebody got some information on what these are exactly.
Yeah, let me read it to you verbatim.
Okay.
These were made by the WWE marketing team for employees and corporate sponsors.
Okay, so just employees and corporate sponsors. So this is something they probably, like, hey, if you want to invest in WCW, or hey, this is the program that we put out, or employees, this is probably in there. So
we have a bidding war between Brian and Dan Gregory. It's up to 310 Dan Gregory.
310 Dan Gregory and Brian. Obviously,
they're going to be getting something that, like I said, man, it's very personal, you know, to me. You know what I mean? So
it ran from 92 to 98, and those are like the beginning.
Yeah. You know, and so and it means a lot to me, you know, because once again, I like to see them go to someone who's going to cherish them the way I did, you know, and the way I love the business and the way things have evolved for me. I'd rather see someone get it and they just keep going. You know, other than sitting in an attic or, God forbid, my wife just get tired of him one day and just throw him away. Yeah.
Well, as long as you don't throw you away.
You know what I mean? Right.
It's these
so,
or you.
Yeah. So that, yeah.
400.
We're at 400.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we're at $400 for
Dan
these.
Gregory just went to 410.
Dan Gregory with a 410. So there's a bit of a bidding
Yeah.
war going on. But Ron, you mentioned a little bit like this, the responsibility of being recognized as one of the
Right.
first black heavyweight champions. Was that a responsibility you were willing to take on? Was it a daunting task?
Absolutely.
So-
Right. I've often been asked, you know what I mean, right? I didn't set out, you understand, you know, for that to happen. And it was a surprise to me, you know, that night when I walked in the building that was going to take place. You know, I had no knowledge of that. But as things evolved and went on, and I realized the impact that it had on, you know, not just young black kids, once again, but more importantly, young black kids, right? Hey, yes, I was willing to do that because, like, in all things, somebody has to be first.
Yes.
You know, right? So, hey, that was something that I took a lot of pride in, right? Being cautious that I knew I was in that position. So, yes, I relished it, you know, and I'm very thankful to have been in that position.
Absolutely. And of course, it's the cover of these are being cited by the city of Atlanta.
Yes.
Any great memories of Atlanta? It's one of my favorite cities in all of the United States. Talk about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, once again, let's go back to just, and let's keep talking about that, right?
Yeah.
Because that was the reason for it, and once that happened, man, the impact of you know, of what it had on the city of Atlanta, you know what I mean? Right, and how just immediately they rallied around me, right, and saw, you know, they saw and something in it before I did as far as what this could be. As far as when it comes to motivation for, you know, young black kids and others, you know, knowing my background and how I have come and gone throughout life, you know, right. So that was something, and that was their way of showing me how much they appreciated and that they had my back.
And also, too, like,
You know?
like we mentioned, these things were passed out to media people.
Yes.
The WCW saw you as a face. Like, this is a guy who we want to lead our company.
Well, yeah, and I'm very thankful that they saw in me that it was someone that they felt comfortable with, you know, putting on that and trying to sell the product to sponsors, you know, because I'm sure they wouldn't have done it if they thought that there was some character flaws, you know,
exactly.
right? You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, right. So yeah.
Absolutely. So where are we sitting on the bids right now, Seth?
$610.
$610. We just been talking about.
Yeah, well, you know what, man? Listen, once again, I'm very, you know, I'm still having, you know, reluctance to see would let them go. Now, I'll be honest with you.
Even at that number.
I've had them, bro. Listen, I've had them, you know, almost 40 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely,
Yeah. So
yeah.
you know, and I from time to time I've gone and, you know, pick them up and look at them. You know, because
What drives you
you know,
to do that? Is it
well,
nostalgia? Like, no offense, but you
No,
seem
no.
like the nostalgic type.
Well, no, I think, you know, we all have reflectory moments, you know, in our lives of what we've done, you know, what we want to do. So, you know, sometimes I have to go back and look at, did this really happen to me? You know what I mean? So, you know, when I look at it, you know, it gives me validation that, yes, you actually did this, you know, and it means that much to me, you know. So, yeah, so like I said, you know, once again, I'd rather see these go to someone like with the bidding war, what's going on right now, right? Get them and cherish them like I did. You know, right.
Definitely. So, who are we got? Anybody that's gonna?
That's Dan Gregory sitting at 610.
Dan Gregory is sitting at
Dan
610.
and Brian, and Dan is leading, and we have not heard from Brian after 610.
Okay, Brian, you got to let us know if you're in or are you out, so we can either give it to Dan or we can continue on with the bidding. That's where we're sitting right now. As a reminder, guys, you got to let us know if you're in or you're out, so that we can move on, because Ron's got a lot of other great items that we're going to get to. We still got the T-shirts behind us. We still got this poster that we got to get to. But let's talk a little bit more about WCW and just everything about it. Like, how, when you think about your wrestling career and you think about WCW, like, how important was it to end up in WCW and get on a platform like that?
We could go on a long time talking about this.
Because you could have bounced around in the territories
you know,
for years.
I'm among a very handful of guys who are lucky enough to have been at WCW during a time when, brother, I think it was anyone was there at WCW at the times that I was there. And we're talking, God, you could go from Rick Blair, you know, Dusty Rhodes, my God, you know, we're talking, you know, icons, legends, you know. So it was a great time for me to be there, to be under the tutelage of these guys, man. You know what I mean? You can't get any luckier than that, you know. So it was a wonderful platform for me coming through there and being in that sea of knowledge. You know, I absolutely loved it. I wish everyone that's getting in this business or in it now could go through the same situation similar to what I did. You know, yeah, very grateful, very thankful.
Yeah, but I don't know how many people would be grateful to go through the situation of fighting Vader for the.
Well, no.
Talk
No,
about
no,
wrestling
well,
Vader,
no.
though.
And I'll be the first one to say that. Okay? That's where fake stops. Okay? Literally stops. All right? Yeah. But once again, going back to football, like you alluded, you know, making that transition to coming there. And thank goodness for that background I had, being able to take that punishment, okay, from Vader. Because look, he worked the way I like to work. You understand me? Like we like to refer to stiff, and I mean very stiff.
Yes.
Okay, right, very stiff, but great person to work with, man. You know, wonderful guy. You know, God bless him, rest his soul, right? But great to have done business with him. You know, wouldn't have happened without him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see where we're at right now with
6:30, Dan Gregory.
6:30, Dan Gregory. It's kind of moving a little bit slow.
6:40, Brian Canberra.
6:40, Brian Kanabrowski. Let us know if you're in or you're
6:50, Dan Gregory.
6:50, Dan Gregory. At least their internet's moving fast. They're moving.
You know?
Their internet is moving fast. So this is going back and forth.
Yeah,
as
well,
much
they're
as
getting
possible.
something that's very, you know, very precious to them, man.
It is
You know,
absolutely very
good for
precious.
them.
We didn't realize how rare this volume 1 of 1 was.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a pretty rare piece.
Okay.
I can't
So
believe you brought it, Ron.
I can't. Don't talk me
we
out.
can't.
of
We
it.
can't.
Right. You know, don't talk me out of it.
I
The more
can't
you
talk about it, and I'm not going to physically.
the more you talk about it,
I'm
right?
between. I don't feel very
Okay?
uncomfortable.
I'm about to bid on it myself.
Listen, I have Ron Simmons. I think he's very emotionally attached to, and he's having second feelings about. So
you know,
please, can we wrap up this auction as fast as possible? Because
you know,
I'm the man in the middle right now. Okay, like
670.
670. Oh my God! It might even be a record of bidding wars. I don't think we've had.
You
any,
actually talked me into bringing some items here too, didn't you, man? Right?
Well, everybody kept telling me like, "Oh, we can't bring in Ron Simmons. He doesn't have anything. He's not the nostalgia type of Ron. Ron Simmons has got something, and you've got something." And I don't think any of our auctions has gotten this high. You're breaking a record. $700. I don't know if you've seen 700 on any of our auctions, Ron.
All right, listen, it's 700. I just want to be fair to everybody.
710.
Listen,
710.
we're going to throw in art piece, signed art piece, and
Okay.
signed each one of these promos
Okay.
with this thing.
Okay, so whoever gets this, you're gonna get all of the signed stuff that Ron was signing earlier. Right here, the signed art piece, which wonderful art piece right here. I like how there's this bald guy
Very
with
nice.
kind of trunks right here. Like if you and me ever wrestled, I feel like that would be me.
Yeah, but I'd have you up much higher. You know, right, where I could get the full effects.
Well, that's because
you
I'm
know,
not as big as Vader. I'm not as
Yeah,
big as Vader.
right, yeah.
Like I'm
Well,
much easier to get
I
up.
could barely get him.
Yeah, exactly. But that would be me. You'd be
Yeah.
beating me up right there. I would show up to probably center stage. I'm like, hello, my name is Jay Manning, and hello, I'm Ron Simmons.
Well, I have to
Good
catch
luck.
you though.
Yeah.
See, you being, you know, see, you weren't as big as Vader, so you work me to death.
Oh,
you know, right?
yeah.
That would be the advantage for you.
That's the only advantage I have. But no, wonderful art piece.
Yeah.
You've been signing all those for the whole time.
720. Brian
720. Brian K. And of course, you know. Oh, we actually got the actual one.
Yeah, the actual one that you'll be
The actual one you're getting is this one because there was some debate on what color
Yeah.
for signing and stuff like
I
that.
don't think you go wrong on.
Yeah, I think we're good here. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's this right here.
750.
750. Whoever gets these is going to get all these just because it's gotten so high.
Oh man, that's a wonderful deal.
There was a lot of debate over what pen we should use on this, and I appreciate you being patient.
Yeah.
But I felt bad. Like, why are we? Like, I was like, I don't want to upset Ron Simmons.
Yeah, but
Like,
listen, you know what? I'm having the time of my life, man. And look, this is something that I've waited a lot of years to get to be able to do just what we're doing now. Give something back.
Yeah. Oh, you're giving
know?
something back. You're giving something that's very
That's right.
sentimentally close
Yeah.
to you. This one-of-one fan club piece is very, very, very rare piece, but also has an emotional attachment to
Yes.
you as well. So, is there anything else in your collection that, like, you say you pull these out and take a look at? Is there anything else in your
Yeah, I don't
collection
want
that you didn't bring
yeah,
here?
I don't want
That
to
you
discuss.
didn't bring
Now, I
here
don't
now.
want to discuss that. You're not going to get me to go there, man.
I'm not asking you to
You're
bring it
trying to
up.
make me come back.
I
You're trying to make me come back.
810.
Eight.
You know, I see what you're doing.
No, I'm not going to do anything.
I'm not
And
gonna
Andrew Keller just came back in the room, by the way.
And Andrew Keller just finally came back to jump in on this.
820.
But is there 820 is where we're at right now? But like, is there anything else?
I do have
You
more.
do?
Yes, I do.
I'm not asking you to bring it up. I just want to talk about
I see
it.
what you're doing, man. I'm not going to do it.
There's nothing I'm trying to do here, Ron.
I can't.
I
can't do it.
I'm not.
You talk to me. You got me here with some of the most rarest of my collection now.
Okay. Well,
One have you? That's nowhere else.
Okay.
Now you're trying to talk me into going somewhere else with some more of my rare items that I have at home.
No, I just want to know what those items are that you look at. What is something? What is something that you would never sell? What is something that's like, no, this is too emotionally close to me?
Well, I do have precious pictures of myself, taken with, iconic pictures, right, with myself, dusty legends like that, not associated with like wrestling, and I do have other paraphernalia from wrestling, right? But the list would go on because I look at them, as I'm walking through the house. I have, plaques, things like this, that are given to me from the city of Atlanta, once again, things like that, right? God, I mean, it goes on from football. It ranges from college football all throughout the house. I have something set up when I walk through the house. I see something that reminds me, when I'm feeling bad or having a bad day.
Well, that's a good way to look at it.
You know what I
when
mean?
you get bummed out, like here's something that's a wonderful accomplishment of mine.
Yes.
I should try that myself.
And it lifts my spirits.
Okay.
Right.
That's awesome. It's a great way to look at it, for sure.
I think we have someone just laying in wait because he knows we have to give him a 60-second countdown.
So where are we at?
Dan Gregory's at 8:20, but I don't think this is over. By the way.
Dan Gregory is sitting at 8:20. Wait, 8:20. Dan Gregory, guys, you got to let us know if you're in or out. Don't leave us hanging. We still have.
Andrew Keller forgot what's even being auctioned. That's where we're at right now. He wants to know what is going for $820. He just got in the room.
I'll show this one of Volume 1 WCW Fan Club is what is going on right now. Right the only. Right there, Ron Simmons being honored by the city of Atlanta, and of course these. I mean, for the price that we got this right, you could have paid to be a WCW associate by now. Right? We're not too far away from owning the WCW library.
But you know what? They're getting something though, man, that is well worth it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Very much so. So I feel very good in the way that this is going because I know it's going to go. They're going to go to a great home.
Yeah.
Can you hold up on the wide camera just so people can see it?
Yeah, we'll hold these up on the wide camera just one more time. We had the close-up camera for a while. Like I said, we got the we got the fan club right here with Ron right here on the cover. Of course, we got Ron here on the cover again with Teddy. And these are the WCW Insider News published for WCW Associates only. Of course.
And you can turn it on the back there.
Oh, yes.
You can see it right
there.
Right. So
Cool sting right there. They got everything on the inside. Oh, actually, they got on the back. They got new affiliates added to WCW TV network, and one of them is actually a station that I watched growing up, Davenport and Rock Island. I grew up in Iowa.
Wow.
So right there, that's right there.
Let people know it's 4 total.
Yeah, it is 4. It is. It's actually 3 Insider News, and of course the one Volume 1 of the WCW Fan Club. So you got the 3 insiders, but of course the insider is the same as the Fan Club one, as you can tell right there. But they got the Fan Club one, Volume 1, number 1.
Right.
And you got the face of the company right there, Ron Simmons. Good looking face
Volume.
too. Good looking face right there on the front.
Yeah.
So
great looking guy.
Great looking guy.
Young guy.
The guy that used to get in a lot of trouble. Sounded like a guy who got in a lot of trouble.
had a good strong back then. Right?
Yeah, good strong back.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what you're carrying. Right now, we're trying to carry the water for this company. But where are we at right now in the bids? Have we moved it all from the 820?
I think we're still at 8:20. I think Brian's waiting for our countdown.
Okay, well, you want to go for the countdown and see if they jump in?
60-second countdown.
We're doing the 60-second countdown right now.
I know Brian is anxious, right?
Yeah, I think we're all a little anxious right here. Just, we want to get this and move on to some of the other items that you brought here. I'm very excited for that. I'm excited for the T-shirts that are just behind us. We got the poster coming up here in just a little bit. Thank you for being patient.
Oh man,
You've been.
Oh, hey man.
Gosh,
like I say, I'm having a ball.
All right, Andrew
Yeah.
Keller just decided to be part of it. 8:30.
Andrew Kella's got us to 8:30 now.
Andrew's jumped in, huh?
Jump right now. Like I said,
Yeah.
you could be a WCW associate by.
He
Yeah.
didn't know what we were bidding on 2 minutes ago.
Okay, he didn't know. He
He
looked
went
it
and
up.
did his homework.
So Brian, let us know if you're in or you're out,
Dan
or
Gregory's up to 8:50.
Dan Gregory's up to 8:50. So, of course, Dan and of course Andrew, let us know if you're in or you're out. We need to know that for sure. I was wondering. I was gonna say on my
Hey,
WCW.
look, even this one here, bro. Did you turn around and show
Oh,
who
yeah.
else is the iconic figure on the
Yeah,
back?
I
Right
was
there?
gonna.
And I know everybody on the planet knows who the home run king is. Henry Aaron, Hank Aaron.
No, I assume you've met him before.
Nice.
Oh yes.
Talk.
And that's some of, and then once again, that's one of the pictures on my wall I get motivated from too.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing him walking past myself with iconic figures like him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
All right, guys, we have a new record.
Yeah.
We have a new record. Where
We've
we,
never before had a 4-figure bid. We have a $1,000 bid.
$1,000 bid by who?
Brian, who Dan Gregory without
Well
flinching,
worth
went to $1,050.
Yes.
$1,050.
Show him again, brother. That's Hank. That's
Oh,
the
yeah, we-
living legend.
we
It's
got-
Hank Aaron.
Andrew Keller's at
Well,
1,100.
Put that right there.
Yes.
Living legend right there. Henry Aaron right on the back.
Right.
So we have 3 people who have bid over $1,000.
So you got groundbreaking everywhere. First
Dan
black
Gregory,
champion.
1150.
First black home run king.
Mm-hmm. Right there on the
Right.
front. First black world heavyweight champion, home run king.
Right.
Right there. First black homecoming, home run king. Now, obviously you met him.
Yes.
Tell me. I've always been fascinated. I've always had great
Right.
admiration for Henry Aaron.
Right.
What is he like as a man?
Fantastic, man. Well, you know, somebody you can sit and just listen to, I mean, forever. Just the things he's going through, right? You know, talking about the Negro League in baseball, you know, things of this nature to get to where he, you know, got to, obviously, you know, becoming the home run king, inspirational all throughout, you know, right. So Teddy and I were talking to him at the same time.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, right? So he and I were there. Just we couldn't believe that we were standing there talking to him. You know, and still don't. You know,
I bet.
right? Yeah.
It's, and also,
You
too,
know?
I should point out that this is only in the fan club piece. The Insider News has a different back to it. Because, like I said, the Insider ones has TV information on it. I just realized why this is a little bit different and why it's for, because like the Insider will have TV information because it's for stockholders, marketing people. They use this to sell the company. So it makes it so unique. Is this would be something that would be passed around by somebody with a company?
Jake, we had 1,200.
We're at 1,200.
Then we had 1,500.
Then we had 1,500.
1,550, and
50.
now we're up to 1,700
But can I do my
for
bid?
Andrew Keller.
We're at what again?
Well, we were at 1,700. Now we're at 1,750
1750.
for Dan Gregory.
Well, you
For
know
Dan
what? I think
Gregory.
I'm just gonna. It's too late for me to.
I mean, how deep are your pockets? 'Cause, they're going in pretty deep.
Can't believe.
You might have to go over 2,000 to get to this.
Well, I know what I'm letting go here, so you know, right? Yeah, you know, right? Yeah, but you know what? It's going to a great home, man.
I mean,
That's
they weren't
what
they weren't
matters.
that bad. You broke.
That's what matters to me.
You have.
you know.
We have pretty much like doubled like our regular record.
Yeah,
This
you
is
know
ridiculous.
what? But in my view, you know what? This is well worth it because
2,000.
once again, you know,
We just got the $2,000.
right.
Is this bid we are sitting right now, guys? Let us know if you're in or
I
you're
think
out.
Andrew Keller might pay more for this than he did for the ring.
Yeah.
He bought a ring, but I think he may spend more for this.
It's apparently extremely rare. We're sitting at $2,000. Is it Andrew Keller who's got the $2,000 bid?
Yes,
Keller's.
Andrew's asking if a phone call from Ron can be included in this $2,000 bid. I think we could probably do it.
I think we can arrange it. And of course,
Yeah,
you are
we'll probably
getting
work that
getting
out.
all of the
You know?
pictures that come with all of this.
Another 2,000.
And we'll do a video call.
You know,
I
another 2.
since I'm running out of WCW stuff to talk about, I had so much more saved for this poster, but apparently we've been talking about WCW
Yeah.
as these bids have accumulated from $5
Yeah.
to now $2,000. Talk about this is a weird
Yeah.
one. Now, when you had to carry the belt.
Yeah.
Was it ever annoying to put it in the bag?
No.
Because some guys are like, oh, I don't want the belt because it's too heavy.
Never had a bad day with it. Okay?
Really?
No.
Not
Never had a bad day with it. Don't let anybody kid you with that.
Okay.
That's crap. Okay.
Great.
They did the same thing that I did when I had that belt. As soon as I got back to the hotel room, didn't get a wink of sleep. I sat it on the table and just stared at it. And that's what everybody does. Okay.
Yeah.
The first time, I promise you. All right. No, there's never was a bad day with it. That's what you work for. You know. No, that's they're trying to downplay it. No, don't let them kid you with that, man. No, there's never a bad day carrying that. You know, you're the champion.
Exactly.
You know, right?
You take that for sure. Well, they always say that. It was like Pez Wiley said. Once they put you out there, they can't take it back.
All right. The last time I put this on a 60-second clock, it made people really pay attention. So
Okay.
we'll put this on a 60-second clock. We're 60 seconds.
60 seconds right
Dan
now.
is out.
Dan is out.
$2,000 to Andrew.
$2,000. Andrew Kella. That's where we're sitting right now. We're on a 60-second clock. It's going to go to Andrew right now for $2,000.
Going to a great home, man.
A great home, a great wrestling collector.
Yes.
He's participated in a lot of our auctions.
Yes. Original.
Yeah.
Good for you, buddy.
Yeah, so this is where we're sitting right now. I mean, these are pieces that were passed out for media affiliates, all kinds of pieces. Of course, the One of Fan Club, WCW, Ron right here on the cover, being honored by the city of Atlanta. Wonderful articles on the inside.
Along with a host of other greats. You know,
Hank Aaron himself.
great Japanese wrestlers, you know. My God.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Master Chono,
Steiners, Rick Rude.
Rick Rude, all those people. Even like Bruno Sammartino on the back
Right,
there. For WCW, where you're like Mr. WWF on a WCW publication. And a matter of fact, it's on the publication. It's the Insider News ones. This is what they send out to the media affiliates. Like, hey, remember that guy from WWF? He's with us in WCW, and they put that right on the back cover. Not snarky at all. I appreciate that. 30 seconds is where we're at right now. We're about to give this Andrew Keller breaking a brand new record for the live entertainment auction. I mean, gosh, it's just
Well, he's getting some wonderful pieces. Man.
absolutely rare, one-of-a-kind pieces, emotional pieces to you. And hopefully Andrew is just as emotional by winning this auction.
Yeah.
And are we at the point where we can give the basketball count? We're giving the basketball count right now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Andrew Keller. You won this for $2,000, setting another record on the virtual gimmick table. Appreciate that.
Give this promotion a shout out for $2,000. Go ahead.
Go Pro Wrestling. Thank you so much.
Hold on.
No, are we done? We need more?
No.
I know.
It was counted. It was
Wait a
counted.
minute.
We got controversy?
Uh-oh.
We got. Hold on.
It was after the bell.
No, I'm telling people are saying in time.
Got a run in?
We have a run in.
It was in. You know who the run in was.
Got a run.
Brian?
Of course.
Brian? Oh, but maybe because you said plug Andrew's wrestling promotion.
Was it a
Brian's like,
takedown?
no, we want you to plug Brian's wrestling
Was it a
promotion.
takedown?
He didn't realize there was a plug for a wrestling promotion on here. But Brian's gonna probably write this off as a tax write-off.
All I know is he's going to sell some gutters tomorrow to cover this.
Yeah.
And so are we back on?
Yeah.
$2,500.
$2,500. Yeah, we can't
Well
ignore a
worth
bid like
it.
we can't ignore a bid like that. $2,500
Well
for
worth
right
it.
now. Andrew Keller, I wanted to promote your wrestling promotion. Apparently, Brian Kanabrowski sees. We'll both promote your wrestling promotion for that amount of money for sure. But we're back on this now.
Yeah, well, he's getting, bro.
Counted.
Read it to him once again. Volume 1, right? The edition of it, right?
Volume
Right.
1
and
of the
then
fan club.
iconic figures that are in it and on it with me. Yeah, I mean, hey, it speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
You know?
And
All right, Ron. Honestly, how much did you think this was going to go for when you walked?
Yeah, how
in?
much?
Honestly.
I would like to I would have to say priceless.
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 All right.
To me. I'd have to say.
Wow.
Right, because I just really, honestly, to me, it's priceless, you know, when I had no idea, you know. As my good friend and I were talking, you know, I told him, hey, it's something that means a lot to me, you know.
All right,
Yeah.
we just got to wait for Andrew to say if he's in or out.
All right, Andrew, you got to let us know if you're in or you're out. I know there was confusion with the count, but apparently Brian got in. It's a lag. It's a bit of an issue. Some people are watching this on YouTube, and then they can get in a little bit earlier than most people. But, you know, we're trying to be democratic as possible. We have to have some sort of rules.
Well, like I
Some sort
said,
of
I'm
rules.
used to running, so, you know, hit the ring on me, right? You know, right?
We thought we were done. The
Yeah,
APN
yeah,
music
then
hits.
you hit the ring, you know.
Brian Kanabrowski
Yeah, you're right.
paid you guys,
You know,
walked up the
right.
table with the beers out.
Yeah, right.
You guys were just trying to play poker.
Yeah.
He offered you whatever.
He just turned the table
He's
over,
out.
man.
Brian is the winner. 25.
Brian is the winner. We're calling it. We're done. It's not
Brian,
gonna
come
get
over here and pick it up yourself.
Brian, you've
man.
got so many orders already. Please pick these
Yeah.
up as fast as possible.
Good deal,
They're
man.
taking up space.
Good deal.
All right.
Good deal, brother.
Let's see if we can get through this one at a decent time. Bids will start at $5 on this piece. This is something out of your personal collection.
Dollars is look. Everything that you're holding up now, man, has been up there equal amount of time or more. You know, along with those there, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at just the host of characters on here.
Oh,
speaks
absolutely.
for itself, you know. Right, and then the iconic Starcade.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
1982 Battle Bowl Starcade poster.
Right, this
is
is
in your personal
right,
collection.
when wrestling was wrestling.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Speaks for itself. You know.
Yeah. And then let's talk about some of the people on here. Like, any memories of Sting?
Oh, great. A good friend of mine has remained that to this day, okay?
Yeah.
Great to work with. Fantastic guy all around, right? Great matches with Rick Rude, of course, with Johnny B. Bad, you know, with Cactus, the Barbarian, Ricky, everyone on here,
Yeah.
you know, Dusty, all of them.
You talked about Rick Rude. How about like?
Don't give him enough credit.
Yes, that's what I mean. No people. None of the people
do
give him
not
enough credit.
give him enough credit, man. Okay, when you go back and look at some of the archival footage on Rick Rude, that is how you become a character. That's how you get immersed into the character, the way that this guy did.
Absolutely.
Okay, great technician, looked great, was everything that you would want in a professional wrestler. You know, I had the opportunity of working with him, learned a lot from him too.
What was probably the most valuable lesson you learned from him?
Well, you know, technician, you know, right. Being a bigger guy, right? How to use your size and not try to do too many things that a smaller guy would do. How to work with your size, right? You know, very, very good to work with.
Okay. All right. Like, what's your most memorable match with him? You would say, like, what
Well,
sticks out in your mind? Like, you
Well,
know,
I had a
think
match
about
with him. I
wrestling.
believe it was in Texas, right? And it was right. One of them that it was teaching me then. You know, if you're going to be a champion, right, you're going to be in matches longer than 10, 15 minutes, right? How to endure and how to pace yourself during the match. Yeah.
Yeah, and Rick Rude was great at that.
Oh,
He was the guy that pulled amazing matches out of the
Oh, yeah.
Ultimate Warrior.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure it's much easier to pull great matches out of you than the Ultimate Warrior.
You know,
For sure.
But it all depends on who you're in there with, bro.
This is very true.
You know?
This is very true. And let's talk about we had very early Cactus Jack, early Mick Foley.
Right.
Like, he's become such a superstar. But when he came in here at WCW, did you see the potential that he'd end up being the
Well,
superstar that he's
you have to look at when you're seeing potentials. There are different ways to see it.
Yeah.
Okay, right. With him, it was his way of working and his style, which worked for him. Okay, and also it transitioned over into into the fans. All right, because he knew how to work in a style to where it was on the edge. Where people were a little bit like, oh my God, some of the thumbtacks, fire, blood, right. And I got to be honest with you, now I wasn't too much up.
it's not your bag. That's
No,
not your bag. Yeah.
Okay, when you're throwing fire at me,
Bobby Bowden wasn't throwing a fireball at
no,
you.
you're throwing fire at me. I tend to take and kind of run a little bit from the fire. That's one thing that Ron Simmons is afraid of. All right, that's fire.
Duly noted.
Yeah.
That's his kryptonite.
Okay.
That's what this Superman's kryptonite is. It's fire.
No, I didn't want to get slammed on too many thumbtacks shit. Okay, but listen, great guy, knew how to incorporate what he does best in his matches and for the guy he's working with, and make it work and make it exciting for the fans.
So let's see what the excitement is with the bids right now. Where are we sitting at right now, Seth?
150.
150?
Dave Miller.
Dave Miller. Like I said, Dave Miller, not my high school principal. So, and head football coach, Dave Miller, was actually the high school football coach as well, but not the same guy.
What position? You?
Me?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, offensive and defensive lineman. Yeah.
Wow.
But see, Ron, you have to understand.
Yeah.
I came from I grew up in a town of 82 people.
Okay.
My graduating class was 21.
Oh yeah, so yeah.
Like Iowa now, they do. I believe it's 8-man football.
Wow.
Yeah, and actually our school is like really good at 8-man football. Apparently, we were better than we were when it was like 11.
Yeah, so they're working somewhat like the arena.
Yes, a little bit.
Right?
Yeah, it's just because like a lot of the schools don't have as many kids there,
Right,
so it's a different class.
Right.
So and you can pull and trying to get as many talented people out,
Yeah,
kids that are talented to
come
play.
out, period, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like that's what it is right now. But
Yeah.
like that was my position.
Yeah.
But I was more of a track and field guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What you doing to training?
But once again, shocker, shot put.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
You know all the big man stuff.
Yeah,
right?
all the big man stuff. But there was a time I was 270.
Yeah. Oh,
believe it or not.
really?
Yes.
Well, then you were big enough to have been it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
At the time,
Okay.
I've dabbled for anywhere
Wow,
240
man.
to 270.
Yeah,
And now
dang.
I'm barely 170.
Yeah. So you're a speedster now.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. Where are we at right now on the
165.
165?
175 now.
175?
Jake, could you slide like 2 steps over that way? What happened is Ron's
Okay.
head's coming in the 172, the counter.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
All right, cool. That's where we're at right now.
All right.
This side of-
there we go.
taking a little bit of floor direction right here. So, you talk about, we got Ricky Steamboat on here.
Oh man. Oh wow. Everyone on the planet that has been in this business should be lucky enough to get in the ring with him. Okay. I to this day go back and watch matches of him and Ric Flair and still get chills watching those two work. It's unbelievable. In my view, the way a professional wrestling match should work. Okay? The heel, iconic heel, and the quintessential babyface being in Ricky Steamboat, it does not get any better than that. Okay? Unbelievable talent. Right. Unbelievable.
I totally 100% agree.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely. And another talented individual, Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously very early in his career. Did you see the potential in Dustin, or the fact that he
Well,
even still wrestling
his
today?
pedigree, man, you know,
Yeah.
passed on, man, and then not only him, he's another guy that can immerse himself into a character and absolutely make it work. Okay.
Yeah, you were around for those early days of
Yeah.
Gold Dust.
Yes. Well, and I mean make it work.
Yes.
Understand? So sometimes, you know, even myself and others back there had to question, you're still Dustin, right? Yeah, you know, right. Yeah, because he was so much into it.
Very much a method
Yeah.
actor in
Yes,
that sense.
you know.
Like a De Niro of
Yeah,
professional wrestling.
yes.
So, but
Yeah.
are you surprised that he's still even wrestling today?
No, that doesn't surprise me, man, because he has that much love for the business. You know, right? Yeah, you know, and still going good, I might add.
Absolutely. I wrestled. I've said the story
Right.
before. I wrestled him like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe like 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he told me like, hey, when I hit the ropes, I'm gonna come off real fast. I'm like, sure, old man.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
enough, I wasn't.
You didn't have to wait long, right? Yeah.
He beat me there.
Yeah, right.
He had to wait on me. I don't know if it's those long legs. It's like runs like a gazelle or something, but he's very deceptively fast in the ring, even at this age.
Yeah, this is a wonderful piece, man. You know, something that I treasure a lot too. You know, right? One good time, you know, great time in my career. You know, right? Represents a host of characters that I've had the opportunity to be in the ring with.
Absolutely. Where are we sitting on the bids right now?
Dave Miller, 195.
Dave Miller, 195. Are we close? So hey, if you want me to hold this run, I can most certainly do that. I'd hate to keep your arm up as long as possible. But can you talk about like wrestling in the Omni? Because this was in the Omni in Atlanta. Can you talk about wrestling in the Omni? What that?
Iconic place to have worked.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
So,
Iconic place to have worked. You know, all of the places. You know, I was coming in today when we were coming here, right? Passed by, you know, the Coliseum. You know, they were used to have. Oh man, brought back so many memories. You know, of the guys that I was working there. You know, all of the wonderful days, man, and I worked with a lot of those guys in that, you know, in that very arena and in that very the Omni that you're speaking of. You know, right? You know, Rhodes, Sting, Barbarian. You know, right? Yeah.
absolutely. And like, you talked about briefly about Charlotte, like how important the Charlotte market was, especially in WCW and NWA and Crockett, all that stuff. Talk about what it was like to wrestle in Charlotte.
Well, if anyone has any knowledge of the history of professional wrestling, and particularly here in the South, right? No, Charlotte was a mecca and a hub for a lot of careers for guys starting. You know, the Crockett promotions were centered here, you know, in Charlotte, right? And NWA, a lot of the talent came from this area, you know. So a wealth of knowledge, people came from this area. Flair, my goodness, you know, you could go on, you know, with so many guys coming from here. So therefore, you know, that's what brings back a lot of memories with myself and Starcade, knowing a lot of the guys that were from, you know, the North Carolina area, you know, that represents, you know, on this poster right here, you know.
Absolutely. And let's get a close-up shot of this particular poster right here, and get a close-up of all the photos. Like I said, Starcade, Battle Bowl, 1992. Of course, you got the nice writing on here. And of course, the Omni in Atlanta, right there at the bottom, as we were discussing before. Oh, Monday, December 28th.
Dave Miller sitting at 195.
190, and we've been sitting at 195 for a while.
Might want to put the clock on.
Okay, we're gonna put the 60-second clock on for this Battle Bowl Starcade poster. Right here, Starcade 92.
It's in great shape, I might add. I took
Very,
good care of
very,
it.
very good shape. Very good shape, as you guys are seeing right now. Almost as good as it was the day of. Event poster. Right here to give all the information. 8 World
And they can
Championship.
see all the corners and everything.
Oh yeah,
In
yeah,
great
that's
shape,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Show the corners of it, just to kind of look right there, so you can see the condition we're working with right there. Been rolled up pretty well. Condition, a very nice corner right there. So not beat up. Right there. Back to the wide shot. Right here.
I think Dave is in there 195. Want to go ahead and,
Okay.
and give him the count.
Give him the count, Dave. Well, you're in there at 195. This wonderful post right here. I'm going to give you the count in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Dave Miller. I appreciate that so much, sir.
Good deal, man.
Good deal. Great deal. We didn't get the 2,000 mark on that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
Ron. I know you were
no,
looking
that's-
for $2,000
yeah, but you know what?
on all these items.
Once
but
again, he's going to a good home.
it's going to a great
Yeah.
home. Most certainly it is. But we have 2 more items that
All right.
and we're going to start with this one right here.
Okay.
This T-shirt, of course, bids will start at $5, and they'll start climbing up. But as you're talking to me, this is an APA T-shirt,
Absolutely.
and worn on
Yes.
WWE
Yeah.
television.
Yeah. Well, let me just put it quite simply like this. I kicked a lot of butt in this shirt.
There you go.
Okay, right, all right. Tore up a lot of bars
Mm-hmm.
in this shirt. Okay, right. There's a lot of guys out there right now that don't like Ron Simmons a lot though when they had this shirt on. Okay, right, yeah.
Absolutely. Talk about your time tagging with Bradshaw.
Probably the best one. It ranks right up there with one of the best periods of time in my professional career. Okay, you can't ask for a better partner than I had, in Bradshaw. Okay, and when you're in a tag, you want to have a fit like that. Okay, where you both can feel what the other is thinking in and out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rhythm that we had. Without trying to exchange, as people like to say, the secret words, as we're passing through. Right. Sometimes we never had to even communicate with each other. We knew exactly what we were going to do. That's what made it so fluid and came across the screen so appealing to the people, because they can see, hey, these guys work well together and they actually care about each other. Was the biggest difference.
Yeah, and that's something that translated. Because I remember when you guys first got put together on
Yeah.
WWE television. I very
Right.
big fan, and I was just like, I think they're just throwing these guys together.
Yeah.
But then I was like, as I see you guys wrestle each other, I'm like,
Right.
oh, this makes sense.
Right. Well, see, what people didn't know was that our backgrounds were similar to each other. Him being a very good football player in his own right.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Played at Abilene Christian, right? Went on to play a few years in professional football, right? We love doing things outside the ring together, fishing outdoors, sportsmen like that, We shared a lot in common, So it was an immediate fit, immediately, So it was a thing that we both, once we came together, and like, hey man, this is gonna do good. We're gonna make this work. Right.
Yeah, and Bradshaw has such a reputation of being a very gruff individual. Tell me a story of maybe like this guy was a good friend because
Gruff
of this.
and I like.
Like people always like, oh, Bradshaw's kind of a mean, like a mean guy in the locker room.
What you
and
must be speaking of, what the softies now that you're talking of now that
Yeah.
can't take a joke or can't take a punch in the ring, right? I mean, bro, look, there was nothing different from what he's been done and myself throughout our careers. You understand me? No, I mean, we must be talking about people that Yeah, everybody wears, their feelings on their sleeves now. The business has changed so much now, right? You can't joke with a guy in the locker room or anything of that matter, right? He same individual.
Because he seems like a direct individual. Like,
You just knew where you stood with him all the time.
The few times that I've done Extra Talent, he was the producer,
right?
And he was like, "Hey, we need to do it like this.
Yeah, that's a man's man, man.
This happened. I want it done.
That's it. Right? Yeah, great guy, fantastic guy. Can't say enough about him. Love him to death.
Yeah, but was there ever a time where he was like, he really looked out for you, like
all the time?
Yeah.
No, not just one time or any sporadic time. All the time. We both did that for each other, and still do. Right? That's the kind of friendship that you hope and pray that you would get in a tag partner, and I'm lucky enough to have had it.
And especially you guys are teaming together. I imagine you're sharing
Yeah.
rooms together.
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever just get to the point like, I am sick of seeing this man in my same space?
Well, only when we started, I wasn't making as much money, right? He snored too loud. I had to get my own room.
Oh yeah, is that how that works?
And then I too, right?
Okay.
Yeah. But you know what? Hey man, we did we stayed together, did everything together, did a lot of things, fished together, hunt together, went to races. We both had, our love for cars, right? Yeah. So everything just worked so well for us, knowing each other and liking each other. So and that helped us make that bond and make that tag team work.
Absolutely. And when you guys traveled together, who was the wheelman? You guys
Him mostly, because he loved to play that country music.
Was that the rule?
Right. So whoever drives, get the control of the radio.
Yeah, because there's always those rules.
Yeah. He had the control of the radio, right? Yeah, and me, which was okay with me, because hey, most of the time, I was cross-eyed anyway. I couldn't see. Right. So it worked out good for me.
Yeah. Leave the night driving for him. Well, let's see where the bids are at right now. We're driving them home.
Dan Sousa 125.
Dan Sousa 125 for this, WWE APA shirt, worn on WWE television, right here. So, when you guys were teaming together, what are some of your favorite matches when you think about your time?
Oh man, we had one great matches. Geez, man, you going with the Dudley Boys?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. In and out with Xbox Hunter. I mean, it was so many, that we were in the ring with. Right. And the Hardy Boys. I mean, right. Yeah.
What was it like wrestling a young Matt and Jeff?
It was very tiring.
Tiring?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they were so athletic and young, right. And I mean, listen, you had your hands full because they were very good technicians, man, and they were full of life. And sometimes, I mean, literally, he and I, would have to hey, slow him. I mean, we had to slow him down, and I mean, really slow him down. Hey, stop this jumping around. Right? Yeah, but they were great guys to work with, man. Had a lot of fun with them.
Were they the type of guys like, hey, let's do this, this, and this, or were they like, yes, sir, no, sir?
Oh, very, very respectful.
Okay.
Always, never lost that. That's why it made it so easy for us to work with them. We loved working with them, okay, and doing whatever it took, to help them get to the next level. Right? Yeah, great guys to work with.
Absolutely.
Dan Sousa's at 140.
Dan Sousa's at 140. We got any challengers? Anybody know if they're in or out? Or
Nobody that was closest said they're out.
We had Stephen Matthew at 135, so he's the closest challenger.
Steve Matthews. Let us know, Steve. But we also, too, we're going to get you to sign this as well.
Absolutely.
So this will be signed by Ron.
Right.
We've had a lot of late arrivals, so before you go to the last shirt, if you could go to the pictures again after this one's
Absolutely.
I'll pop it up now.
Yeah, he's going to pop up the graphic right now. And as a reminder, guys, we got a lot of people that are just tuning in right now. Some of the things we got going on. You still have time to get some of the signed 8x10s by Ron Simmons. If you were interested in the APA one, just put APA 15, Nation of Domination 15, Damn 15, WCW Champ 15. Also to the artwork. Put artwork 30. There's one of our piece, and then of course we have the concept art for the Nation of Domination for 40. Just put concept art 40. Those are the codes in that. They've been available throughout the entire program. So people have jumped on. They're probably like, why is Jake Manning standing next to Ron Simmons? And why is he freaking out over the fact that there's a programs over here? So we have some late arrivals.
Show that concept art one more time.
We're going to show the concept art right here just to pick up. There's 5 pieces.
Yeah, before Farouk even got into the ring.
Absolutely.
Okay, right. As the nation's leader, right there.
Yeah, these were the things we're like, hey, this is what we want to do with you.
Yeah.
I know you've been wearing a gladiator outfit, but we're thinking this now.
Yeah, the performative stages of him right here. So you'll be looking at the originals before he became who he was.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. And then eventually evolved into the APA character.
Right.
Now, when they said they were going to move you away from the Nation and then move you closer to what the APA came, were you any thoughts? Because there was like that demonic ministry thing going on. Were you like, I don't know what this is, but I guess it's a paycheck? Or
Well,
what was
listen,
your thought?
no, bro, listen to me. Look, when you speak of anything that has the Undertaker's name in it, yes.
That's all you
It
need to
wasn't
hear.
a question.
Okay.
Okay.
You gonna put me with The Undertaker?
Yeah, before they could even, they just got they're out. They didn't even finish the name. Yes, I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like that.
And talk about The Undertaker, him as an individual locker room leader. What are the qualities that made him that and he exuded in experience?
Very few guys, and I have to say, Bradshaw being one, right? And there's not many. Probably on one hand, I could say that I have admiration for as a man, okay? And putting everything that you have into doing something and seeing it through, he's one. I've seen him, brother, work through something that I know only rivals, having played football, when you have to go out there injured, not just hurt, injured. There's a difference. And I've watched him do that. And people don't recognize how much he's gone out there and done that over the years. Nothing but respect for him as a man.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And as everybody's seen the Last Ride documentary on the WWE Network, they know that all too well. But let's figure out, because we don't know all too well what the bids are doing right now. What's going on?
Stephen Matthew, 175. The other bidder is out, so 175 looks like the high bid.
Okay, 175 is a high bid. Where we're sitting right now for the 6-second clock on this APA shirt, which will be signed by Ron. He will do that here in a little bit. We've got one more shirt that we're going to auction off here in a little bit, and I'm very excited for that. Saved it all the way here for the end. We're at the 60-second here. Trying to think, some of those skits of the APA, like the evolution of going from these guys that are basically the heaters for the Undertaker to the guys that are playing poker in the back and just are mercenaries throughout the locker room. Talk about the evolution of that. Some of the funner skits that you did in the back.
Perhaps, the best time that we had during the APA, right? Because we had so much fun doing the skits, and people look forward. People will tell me, man, listen, I watch it just to watch you guys back in the back playing cards, Right. And it was working so well. We had people coming from all walks of life want to sit down with us at that table. Mr. T, my God, the race car drivers, Everybody wanted to come in and
special
play.
guests, they want to
Everybody
be
wanted
on
to
that
come in and
table.
play cards with us, Look, we everybody, from models to everything, right? So, of course, we had to play strip poker a lot of times, too, Yeah, they lost.
But were there any losers in a game like that? Is really the question. Where are we at? Do we have any winners and losers? We're ready for the 10-second count. Who has got it right now?
Stephen Matthew.
Stephen Matthew. I'm giving you the 10-second count in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Steve Matthew.
Good
You
deal,
won this
Steve.
ABA shirt. Ron will
Just
sign.
count for the lag. Let's make sure we didn't get
Just
another late arrival.
We're going to give some time for the lag.
No, Stephen didn't get it.
Oh, I think he did. We're giving some time for everybody to catch up with
man.
this.
This is another item right here
So,
that I was very reluctant
This
to
is
bring
right.
out.
Absolutely. It seems like everything are free and clear.
Original.
We've now gotten to
Yeah.
the last item. This is, worn on WWE television.
Yes.
This is,
The nation was just beginning, getting in its formative militant stages. Okay? Right.
So talk about, they brought you in. They put that gladiator outfit on you. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, you're now.
Yes.
Yes. And
Yeah. Well, everybody wants to know a little bit about that. I'm glad
Please,
you brought that up.
I
okay?
really do.
I'll just expound on that just a little bit here,
Okay.
right? Okay. When that was first thrown in front of me, and I've got to tell you, okay, I sitting there, right, and I'm sitting in front of Vince and all the other creative people. When they put that in front of me, I had to look behind me. Well, who are they talking to? Me,
Yeah.
right? With this, right? So of course, you're not gonna say anything. You're sitting in there in front of Vince. Man, what do you think, Ron? God, I think it's great. Right? Right. Let's go with it.
Can you make that a
Right,
little
yeah,
more teal?
yeah.
Can you give it more teal?
But
Like-
here's the best thing about that, right? Is that as a professional you are tested when you get characters like that sometimes you don't like. Now it's up to you as a wrestler, and if you want to be considered a professional, to get out there and make it work to the best of your ability. So that was challenging for me, and I'm grateful for that, because it helped and enhanced me as a character and mic skills.
Absolutely, and then of course eventually you evolved into Farouk, the leader of the Nation of Domination.
Original hit.
And like I said, I grew up in Iowa, and seeing your
Many
group together,
years.
just seeing you guys as a group, it just seemed like it'd be one of those things. If I was walking and I saw Farouk Assad in front of me, like, excuse me, sir, I'd just be kind of like, just get out of your way, and like definitely.
Had this one since the beginning.
Yes.
This one right here, my personal one here. This one.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And of course, and on the back it says Nation of Domination.
Right.
What size is the shirt?
It is extra large.
Yes, large enough for the man and woman.
and
anyone.
And of course, you had to show off the guns. When
Of
you wear
course.
it. It's probably tight on you. I know how it is.
And it's going to fit whoever gets it very well.
Absolutely. Warren, Ronson.
Yeah.
So
They're getting a very iconic shirt here.
Absolutely. And talk about when they started forming the nation. Talk about like hey, we're going to give you the Godfather eventually, and then of course and then D-Lo,
Right.
and then of course this up and comer Rocky Maivia,
Right.
feasting all together. How did you guys come together as a team? It was a cohesive thing.
Well,
I guess work together.
Right. Well, one thing is that we talked a lot. We communicated a lot. Okay, we didn't wait until we got to the building. We stayed in touch with each other. We'll talk. Even when we're in the gyms, we'll talk about how we want to evolve as a faction and as individuals. Right. Each one of those guys coming into that were always very studious, okay? They would come to me and, hey, Ron, what do you think about this? It's okay if I say this, because, see, some of the things the nation did back then, God, you'd have people now outside of their picketing now, Goodness, if Farouk said some of the things he said, back then,
I've heard that.
Yeah, you're okay. But everybody, paid attention, and we worked very well together. And the best part about that is that most everyone in that group, went on offspring and have very good individual careers. That's the best part of that. I love the most.
Absolutely. And you were the leader for quite a minute.
Couldn't be proud of them, and wishing all of them luck. And still, even with Mark Henry, he's still involved today. D-Lo, all of them went on to have Godfather, all of them. Savio, fantastic careers.
Absolutely.
And we of course know what Rocky.
Absolutely.
Put me in one of the movies, man.
I mean, he kicked you out of the nation.
Not even a walk on through the screen. I can just walk past it.
Yeah, and speaking of walk
no speaking role or nothing.
Well, you have a very famous slogan that's on your chest
Well,
right
I
now.
can say that.
Exactly.
Well,
And I'll never forget. When I was watching Raw, I'll never forget John Cena was cutting a promo. And you just walk out.
That was it. That was the beginning.
That was the beginning.
That was it. And what? Not many people remember, but that's actually the beginning of it. He and Booker T were doing an exchange.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, tell me how that came about, because I remember watching and I saw you just walk out. Like, what's Ron Simmons doing? And
well, that's the same thing I said when they wanted me to do it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, but when I was in matches, when John Bradshaw and I were working together, right? If something would go wrong, I'd get hurt, and I didn't know I was saying it, and I would say, damn, right? Because I was upset.
Yeah.
Right. So, and as we would go back to each of the towns, and people would say, damn. And I was like, what are they cursing out, man? Is the match bad? Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But then the writers back there picked up on it. They said, listen, we want you to just walk out there and say this after the exchange. I thought they were kidding, Like, you kidding me? And so I walked out and said, and Dan was born.
I just remember watching it. I was like, what did I just see? And it was what writer was like, hey, I think we got something, or was this a Vince idea?
A very smart one.
Yeah.
Right, and thanks.
Well, who was the one that came up with that idea? That approached this is the idea we have.
Well, I'm not sure if it got because it's been 25 or 15 years now, right?
You've been writing that long? 15 years?
He
Wow.
was.
Okay.
Yeah, not me.
Okay.
He came up with that.
Okay.
Right, yeah. But I'm very grateful for him to do it, because that means I didn't have to take any more bumps.
Yeah. I'm sure that's a lot easier to say than take a backdrop.
Right. So. You came up with a damn good idea.
Do you, like what was the weirdest request for you to come and do the dam? Like they use that like so many times where you're like man, this is like that Cena one is still my favorite because it was so out of nowhere and it just it made me perk like what is going on?
Yeah,
Like,
right. Well, I mean, during the skits and including the dam and everything, right? A lot of them have been, so enjoyable for me. All of them are enjoyable for me, right?
Yeah.
But I think in real life are the ones that I get the kick out of the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just one quick one that always stands out for me, right? It's going to a show somewhere and walking through the airport, and his family was sitting together, and that father and the mother and I think 3 kids, right? And so the little kid walks past me. This is the boy walks past me. Hey, Dad, isn't that damn guy? It's nothing like walking through the airport just getting cursed out for no reason. Okay, right?
Yeah, you're the damn guy.
Yeah, that damn guy.
It's better than when Eddie Murphy's like, "Hey, you're the guy." Like, for sure. Well, let's check on the bids where we're at right now.
Ryan Miller at 165.
Let's put it on a 60-second clock.
60-second clock right now. We're getting very close to the end. We're Ryan Miller.
Yeah, getting an iconic thing now.
Very, very iconic T-shirt. Nation of Domination on the back, right here.
Yeah.
But Ron, we get pretty close to this. We're getting a 60-second clock. Like, what are your some of your fondest memories of wrestling career? You got the it was very hard to pick out a photo.
I think the funnest thing of me having been in the business, man, right, is giving my best and watching the reaction of the fans, right? Knowing I've given them everything I had in the ring, the way I'm supposed to do it as a professional, and not taking shortcuts, and watching them come away feeling good about what I've done. That's the best feeling I think anyone should take away from it, and that's what means the most to me.
Absolutely, and it means the most to me. Let's see if anybody's got how it means for somebody to possibly get this T-shirt. Are we sitting still at 165, ready for the 30? Maybe
170 from Ryan Perry.
170 from Ryan Perry. Still batting around, still going back and forth. So I guess we got a little bit more time on camera. We're at 170 right now.
And of course, go one final time to the pictures because I know it sounds stupid, but we've had literally people asking.
Okay. All right. Well, people have been asking about the photos that.
Yeah, go to a close-up.
We're going to go to a close-up right now. Of course, we're about the shirts right now, but I'm going to put a close-up camera right now. If you're interested in the Nation photo, just put Nation 15. If you're interested in this one, APA 15. If you're interested in this one. If you're interested in the Dam, just put Dam 15. Of course, WCW Champ 15 right there. So once again, WCW Champ 15, Dam 15, APA 15, and then Nation 15, and then of course this wonderful art piece for $30. Right there, Ron Simmons. This was $30. Just put art piece, artwork, $30. Signed by Ron. Right down here, wonderful paint pen. All facets of his career, APA, Doom.
A little bit of football in there.
A little bit of football in there too, for sure. Right there, WCW title. We've talked about every facet. We haven't talked about Butch Reed.
Yeah.
What was Butch Reed like to tag with?
Like a big brother.
Really?
And he acted just like a big brother, too. Okay?
Well,
yes. Okay.
Okay, all right.
When they thought I was getting out of line, he would do what a big brother would do, right?
Yeah.
Come over and try to scold me, right? A couple of times, hey, we had to, mix it up. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
See, Butch always seemed like he was just very laid back. The guy you wouldn't want to mess with, honestly.
Yeah, yes.
I didn't realize he had a bit of a temper
Right,
to him.
and he did keep me out of trouble and kept me in line. And I'm thankful for that.
Okay.
Okay, right. And it was during the time that, hey, I would have needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so way to go, big brother.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Let's see where we're at right now. We're close to 60-second clock or 30-second clock right now.
175, Ryan Miller. Getting there.
Okay.
175, 60 seconds again.
175, 60-second. Let us know if you're in or you're out. This is where we're
Just so everybody know, this is the last auction item of the night, and then we'll follow
This is the last auction item that we're going to follow up with a DVD special because people have been hanging around with that. People have been jumping in and getting the photos and the pictures and everything like that. Also, too, we are, might as well show the concept art, too. We have these available as well for $40. The concept art pieces are right here. Of the ones that you had in the concept, are you sad that you didn't have the suspenders portion of the Farouk outfit?
Well, I never had suspenders on that outfit.
Okay.
Right. He was, that was a vest.
Oh, that was a vest.
Right.
outfit.
Yeah.
That seemed very similar to the Farouk,
right. It was
the gladiator.
Right.
outfit
Well,
that had going.
Savio was the one that with the colorful suspenders.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So just like a little bit color, like I don't know what you would call that. Is it a vest or suspend like weird, whatever. Then of course, like they show the back, the different art pieces, right there. They definitely did a great job with all of these.
Yeah.
Like over the years, like you've seen concept art pieces for The Undertaker and Gold Dust. Like they had professional artists come in and draw these concept pieces on what characters could look like. And
Once
of course,
again, before he even became the Farouk character.
absolutely. And we these are printed off copies, and they were selling these for $40. Of course, the original that's in your personal collection. Hang on to that for as long as possible for sure. It's a very rare piece, and now these exist on the internet right now, but you can get copies of it for $40. But right now we're trying to sell off this Nation of Domination shirt, and we're ready for right now. That's the sign that we give the 10-second count right now for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations. Who's getting this Nation of Domination t-shirt? Did we give them time for the lag and everything like that?
I think it was Ryan Miller.
Ryan Miller, I'm pretty sure that's the name that I had last said. Ryan
There you go,
Miller.
Ryan.
It's just, I forget sometimes because I'm enjoying talking.
Hey man, it's been a pleasure for me.
Absolutely. And before we get out of here, we've actually got a DVD special. What are we doing on this one, Michael?
$7.
We are doing $7. This is a shoot interview that you did with us. Quick story. If you want this, just put Ron Simmons shoot right in the comment section. We'll add it to the word. So if you're
what Ron looks like on the front.
Ron looks great.
Oh, yeah, man. That's when he's really doing the Trump thing.
And this was actually filmed in actually the next room over.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not,
Yeah.
you were here the first couple months that I actually worked in this office.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and I will never forget. Like you were just the nicest.
How long?
This was like 15 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and, like I remember going to you after the interview was over. I was like, it was okay, it was good, and you were so nice. You were such a gentleman. Just the utmost respect
Well, thank you.
for you, and that's why I was like, man, well, we wanted guests to come in. We've got to get Ron Simmons
Thank
in,
you.
and you, sir, did not disappoint.
Thank you.
And thank you so
been a
much.
pleasure for me.
You never disappointed in your wrestling career, and everybody that's followed you as we've grown up. Is there anything you want to say to your fans
No,
before we get out
I
of here?
absolutely do. I've had a fantastic career, and I'm one of the lucky ones to have gone through this. And I think the thing that I treasure the most has been the journey now. And I can't say enough for all of you who has followed me throughout my career and for all of the support. And so now I hope that in these years that I get the opportunity now as I'm traveling now to say thank you to you in person or to say hello to you and answer some of the questions you had for me over the years. But once again, thank you for all the wonderful years.
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight for the virtual gimmick table. Make sure you show up next week. Special start time, 6:05 Eastern Standard Time, where we'll celebrate the NWA, new and old. And don't forget about the 4th of July Cellathon, 12 hours here on the Highspots Facebook, airing to you guys live. This has been another edition of the virtual gimmick table. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight. And be safe, and make sure you pay your invoices. Good night.
Yeah!